Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. For those who've never caught me live before, my name is Jewel. I'm a grateful recovering addict of 8 years. I'll celebrate 9 years this year in August. I'll probably play with my hair a lot today because I braided it last night when I went to bed. So now it looks really cute. Really cute. Look at this hair. Do you see this, Shara? I see that you're on. Are you actually here or are you just passing through? Because I'm showing you all this hair mess. This is the result of the pigtail braid that makes me look, I think it makes me look like Matilda. Anyway, guys, I'm going to read the gist for today, which is about reservations. I just invite a few people on really quickly because I've been busy playing with my hair instead of doing that. So as you come in, if you have never caught me live before, please say hello so I can welcome you. If you have caught me live before, say hello so I can say hello back. And just get everybody on here and we'll get started. I wish Miss Patty was on because I know that she would be like, "Ooh, girl, look at that hair. Hey, Zesta. Hey, Wendy." I know, look at it. I put it in 2 braids last night because we have a couple errands to run today. So I've been trying to figure out what to do with my hair because it's so long. I hate to straighten it, It takes forever, so I don't like to straighten it anymore. I mean, I do, but it just takes forever, so. Hey, Zesta. Okay, guys, I'm going to get reading. Just going to read the gist for today. As I said, today's is Reservations, February 19th. Relapse is never an accident. Relapse is a sign that we have a reservation in our program. Basic text, page 79. A reservation is something that we set aside for future use. In our case, a reservation is the exception that, if such and such happens, we will surely relapse. What event do we expect will be too painful to bear? Maybe we think that if a spouse or lover leaves us, we will have to get high. If we lose our job, surely we think we will use. Or maybe it's the death of a loved one that we expect to be unbearable. In any case, the reservations we harbor give us permission to use when they come true, as they often do. We can prepare ourselves for success instead of relapse by examining our expectations and altering them where we can. Most of us carry within us a catalog of anticipated misery closely related to our fears. We can learn how to survive pain by watching other members live through similar pain. We can apply their lessons to our own expectations. Instead of telling ourselves we will have to get high if this happens, we can quietly reassure ourselves that we too can stay clean through whatever life brings us today. Just for today, I will check for any reservations that may endanger my recovery and share them with another addict. Thank you, ladies. I know now I'm just feeling like, girl, silly. So, I really like the reading today because I think that reservations is something important to talk about. I feel like a lot of people, especially that are early in recovery, may not even know what a reservation is, so they probably have them. They're just not aware of what the term for them are. And I know, because I have seen it happen to others, that reservations keep you sick. Reservations are your excuse to get high. When my mother-in-law passed away, there were a couple girls in the house with her who I feel like used her as a reservation. When she passed, that was their their reason to go get high. Like, oh, well, this person died, so now I can go out and get high. And it wasn't necessary. The girls that did that are clean now, but they would have almost a year clean if they had never gone out. So that's just kind of where I'm at with it. I just really like when it talks about reservations because I really think it's something important. I've known so many people over my time of getting clean that I have seen who I'll say to them, "You have reservations. Like, I can see it. I can hear it in your voice." "Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't." And they end up going back out. And it's like, You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to relapse. You didn't have to put yourself back out there and have to start this whole process all over again, because detoxing is not fun for anybody. I don't care what anybody tells you, detoxing is one of the worst things you'll ever experience in your life. And so to allow a reservation to take over your life and to set you back out there is just silly, and it can be avoided, you know? Even if you have reservations now, examine them and get them out of there. Get rid of them. Put them to rest. You don't need them. You don't need them. There's nothing in this world that you can't handle. There's nothing that's going to happen to you that's going to kill you. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that, but you're not going to experience a situation in life that's physically going to kill you or physically make you need to use. When my mother-in-law passed away last year, would have been the perfect opportunity for Joe to drink, you know? He could have drank and nobody would have said anything. Nobody would have said, basically everybody would have understood, you know what I mean? But he didn't do that. He was able to get through that. And that was his mother, you know? So I like to think of it as, if Joe can get through losing his mother and not pick up a drink, you damn sure can not do whatever your drug of choice was because some little thing happened to you. Jobs come and go. Lovers come and go. Friends come and go. It's all a part of life. Hey, Brandy. Danielle's not on now, but I remember when Danielle first reached out to me back in October, she had said to me that, dang it. I forget what it was, how we got on the topic of this, but she had told me that I make it look easy, that I make recovery look easy. Recovery is easy for me now. I have almost 9 years clean. So it is my life. I don't really have drug dreams anymore. I'll get them like once in a blue moon, but it's a very rare occasion. I don't really have urges anymore. It's been a really long time since I've had an urge. I don't, but then when it comes to things like, I don't put myself around people that use. I don't put myself around people that I know are active in addiction. To be honest, I don't even put myself around people that I used to use with, even though I know they're clean now. I still don't put myself around them. And it doesn't have anything to do with them. It's just how I keep myself safe. It's how I keep myself sober and clean, and how I, it's like I stay in my bubble. You know what I mean? I do these videos. I have recovery awareness events coming up. These are all things that I do to keep myself clean. Anyway, so when Danielle had reached out to me, she was like, you make it look really easy. I said to her, life shows up whether we're getting high or not. Life's not always going to be easy. We all know this. But I can promise you that it is much easier to deal with when you're clean. So, that's that for today. Thanks, Desta. So, really quick, because we have some new people hop on. I read the gist for today, which is reservations. Relapse is never an accident. Relapse is a sign that we have a reservation in our program. Basic text, page 79. A reservation is something we set aside for future use. In our case, a reservation is the exception that, if such and such happens, we will surely relapse. What event do we expect will be too painful to bear? Maybe we think that if a spouse or a lover leaves us, we will have to get high. If we lose our job, surely we would think we will use. Or maybe it's the death of a loved one that we expect to be unbearable. In any case, the reservations we harbor give us permission to use when they come true, as they often do. We can prepare ourselves for success instead of relapse by examining our expectations and altering them where we can. Most of us carrying within us a catalog of anticipated misery closely related to our fears. We can learn how to survive pain by watching other members live through similar pain. We can apply their lessons to our own expectations. Instead of telling ourselves we will have to get high if this happens, we can quietly reassure ourselves that we too can stay clean through whatever life brings us today. Just for today, I will check for any reservations that may endanger my recovery and share them with another addict. Hey, Amberly, thanks. Look at my hair. I was telling everybody in the beginning, I just braided it last night. Like I just did two. I can't do the French braid because I can't. I guess because I can't see it, and I have so much hair. So I just did two like pigtail braids. My husband always laughs at me and makes fun of me, but the end result is pretty nice. So I'm not really too mad about it. That's what I said to him. This is the that in between phase you just kind of have to deal with. I keep saying I'm trying to train my hair to be curly because it's like naturally, I don't want to say it's like bone straight, but it's like that awkward, like it's not wavy enough to be cute and it's not straight enough to be cute. So it has to have something done to it. And it takes forever to flat iron now. So I've just been trying to braid it at night, and this is actually the best it's looked. So I'm pretty tickled. So all right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to me this morning. I hope you all have an awesome day. Remember, if you or someone you know is suffering from addiction, please feel free to reach out to us. There's been a topic going around about Maryland potentially passing a bill to allow safe using sites. And that's kind of keeping me off of Facebook, guys, because it's not that I necessarily agree or disagree. I feel like there could be benefits to it, but I would like to see more research on other countries and things that have already done it. But the comments on the news articles are absolutely disgusting. And it's easier for me to just not say anything, so I haven't been. But Joe and I did a live video about it before and talked about it. But also I was talking to a friend, Mia, who I can't remember what she said she's studying for. I think she's studying for psychology. She wrote an article, or she wrote a paper for her class on the effects of drug abuse, mothers that are pregnant addicted to drugs, and the effects that it has on the babies. Which I found really intriguing because I've just never thought to look that far into it. And so she sent me her paper, which I was so tickled about, and I was reading it last night, and it's opened up all these questions for me now, because there are all kinds of side effects for these children that are born with mothers that are addicted to drugs, and I don't think it was necessarily specific to any kind of drugs. It might have been, but it made me wonder, like, how many pregnant moms that are in active addiction actually seek out prenatal care, what doctors in our area are familiar with how to treat patients like that, for one, and for two, is it easy for them to come into the office? Do they feel the judgment? Do they feel like if they come in, they're going to have all these legal consequences? So me and I are going to go live one day soon. Hopefully, I don't know if it'll be this week or next, but I'm really excited for that because she's done a lot of research on the topic, so I really want to talk to her about it. But in the meantime, if you happen to know of any places where expecting mothers who have addiction issues can go, please send me a message because I would love to have a list of resources for pregnant women, because I can only imagine. Luckily for me, Matthew will be 8 in August, and Matthew will be 8 in December, and I will celebrate 9 years clean in August. So I didn't have to experience that. But I can't imagine, people. I told Mia, she wrote a very beautiful article, but one of the sentences was something along the lines of this, due to the selfish act of the mothers using while pregnant. And I told her she stepped on my feelings a little bit because I don't like when people use the word selfish when it comes to addiction. I know that addiction can be very selfish. I know that I was extremely selfish in my addiction. But we get to a point where it's not even really about what we want anymore. It's a part of us being just so physically dependent on the drugs and our minds being so flogged up and clogged up and clouded and we can't even think straight, So I'm really curious to hear more on it, and I'm really curious to see, what kind of resources are out there for pregnant women that have drug addiction, Are there resources? I'm sure there are. I'm not familiar with them. So I would like to become a little more familiar with them. So if I have people reach out, we can help them. Because I can't imagine what it would be like to be pregnant and struggling with drug addiction. I say all the time, as a mom of 2 boys, I can't imagine what the mom feels like, because I just know that they would feel so much guilt and shame and embarrassment and just upset with themselves. So we don't need to beat them up anymore. We just need to help them. Let me see. Yes, Amberly, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. I know that there's got to be resources out there, probably not many. But one of the things Mia brought up was, a lot of times they don't even do prenatal care. And that can be so dangerous in itself. When I was actually in treatment, I went to Whitsett in August of 2010, and there was a woman in there who was pregnant, and she wasn't very far along, maybe 3 months, and she was actually going to detox off of methadone, and they wouldn't keep her. They sent her away because they said they were not set up to be able to control her detox and safely do it with the baby. And so they had to send her away. So I'm thinking, obviously that was almost 9 years ago. They might be better equipped now, but if that happened to her, how many times does that happen to other women, And I feel like, Mia had talked about in her article about how, methadone and the other treatments that they give for detox, like Suboxone and Subutex, none of those are healthy for the baby either, but obviously, then on the other side, you have it where she can't just quit cold turkey, because what will that do to the baby? What kind of stress would that put the baby through? So it was just a new topic that come up, and I was just all over it last night, and all these ideas flooded into me, and I said to her, I'm like, now I have to figure out how I can help, because I had never thought about it before, and I don't know why. Probably because I'm not pregnant, but all right, ladies. Thank you so much for listening. Zesta, you said 211 in your state could probably give you some resources for the info of places who help with those addictions. I'm glad you brought that up, because I do have some emails for a couple different women that work in the social services office. They might have some information for me. So I think I might try and shoot out some emails this week. So that way when Mia and I get to go live, which I'm really excited for, then I'll be able to share some of what I have found out as well. So thank you so much for listening, guys. Don't forget, I'm doing the 7-day live challenge. So I'm going to go live every day to read the gist for today. Probably be in the morning times, just because it's easier for my schedule. So I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow.